Yeah. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. And we back. While we getting some chairs in here, let me invite some special guests. You know what I mean? So let me do this. Hey, 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 hey. All right, we got a couple of special guests coming through. We talk about day one at Imaging USA here in the DMV at the Gaylord at the National Harbor. So tap in, tell a friend, share this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, even right now, while we're waiting for some of our special guests to tune in. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Lamont Warren Photography on the Sunday evening. We locked in. We had a wonderful time today. I want to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. Check 1 2 1 2. Yeah. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? Is that
T
the
M to the IDD. Y'all know what time it is.
does that
Yeah.
just so you can hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I went through the phone, so it's the first time going through the phone situation.
Okay. Yeah, everything sound good on your end. On this end, can you hear? Am I clear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
It's-
Cool. Waiting for our guy to join. I'm sure he probably changing a diaper or two right now. So we gonna give him a couple minutes. Um, but we could jump right into it, and he could just jump on in when he's ready and available. But man, so imaging imaging USA 2022 here in in the nation's capital at the harbor, National Harbor Gaylord here in the DMV is a big first, and I was glad that we were able to get up there and kick it off, real big for our area. I don't know how many of these trade show conferences that you've had the opportunity to go to, but this is one of the big ones, and I, for one, am glad because whenever we have go to these trade shows, we often have to travel. We usually have to
Mhm.
go to New York for Photo Plus, WPPI, in Las Vegas, Nevada. All cool trips, all great trips. Um, but it was great that they planned and scheduled one for here in the DMV. How big is that, man?
Man, it's interesting that you say that because my first initial thought was exactly that. Like I and I actually said, like, I'm making a vlog about it. I
Hmm.
actually said that to myself. I said, and I said that in the vlog. I said, you know what? I've never went to a photography trade show ever.
Oh.
So that was literally my first one.
Mm.
Literally my first one. So it was it was it was good for me to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of different aspects for that because I think I said it to you as well that I kind of put like the YouTube first and
Hmm.
then photographer second
Yeah.
because I don't really look to make income from being a photographer. It's all
Mhm.
just fun for me.
Right.
So so going to those trade shows, you know, it's kind of like a second thought. But kind of
Mhm.
wrapping my mind. Let's see. Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah. Can you see me? Can you hear
Okay.
me?
You could okay, yeah, you just blanked out for a little second.
Oh, okay. My bad.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I'm with
So
you. I'm
um
tracking with you.
okay. Yeah, so this time it was the same thing. I didn't really have an urge to say, okay, I need to go, I need to be there until, you pulled up there and then I
Hmm.
hopped on your live and then he was like, yeah, man, I'm here, you know. And I'm like, all right, man, let me not be lazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
what it all comes down to. And also, I'm like, let's see if I can get this situation. I'm like editing as we speak.
Yeah, yeah,
So I had like,
yeah.
I literally just did this fire shoot, which is kind of want to be like, man, I want to get this out.
Right, right, right.
But definitely, I think it was definitely big that it was in our backyard, which made it
Yeah,
even more convenient. And I think
yeah,
it's also what kind of pushed me even more to make sure that I did go. So
yeah.
as soon as I seen, I was like, I said, look, I don't even have a reason not to go. It's like,
Right,
and it also kind of hit me to the point where it was like, you doing this YouTube thing, things like that. Like you need to
right,
be out here in these streets.
right, 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 right,
It's like, yeah, some people know you, but even more people will know you if you just take your logo out there and might
yeah,
be intrigued and like, oh, okay, I did never knew about them, but now I do know about them.
right, right. How cool was it to run into some of your YouTube alumnus, I should say, that was strolling through the conference. Who were you surprised the most to see?
Man, let me see. That's a good question. I I think because of the current state of the world right now, I didn't really
Hmm.
have high hopes to see really anybody, to be honest. So
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised that pretty much everybody that you really know was
yeah,
there.
right, right,
and,
yeah,
and and it came so fast. It was just like in a cluster, like, oh yeah, boom, 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 boom.
boom, boom,
Like,
boom. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
it was like, and let me give them a shout out too. I gotta give a shout out to
for sure.
Anita and Irene for the
Yes,
repost of
yes,
they reposted my stuff, so that even lets you know that they real ones.
they real ones. Yeah,
They
yeah.
real ones. Like I was telling you earlier, they probably scanned my work before they reposted it, but they no,
Oh yeah, he
nevertheless they.
official. He official.
I'm a repost it. All right, good
Yeah,
looking. I appreciate that. Thank
yeah.
you. But that
That
just
was
lets you
dope.
know they real ones because like YouTube, you could kind of have this premeditated mindset that
Yeah.
they might be snarky or they might be a certain type of way, like what I
Right.
mean, and
Right.
that just kind of shows like how humble they are.
Now, in contrast, I'm my first trade show was Photo Plus a few years ago in New York
Okay.
City at the Javits Convention Center. And I ran into a YouTuber. I won't say who it was, but that they're And I get it too. So just to clear up on the back end that I understand why some people are the way they are. So
Yeah.
because I'm like that, I didn't I understand. But I was a little irritated by it because I was like, "Oh, this is my first time," and then they walked in and I introduced myself or whatever. And it occurred to me, a lot of these people are just socially awkward. They're
Yeah.
not they're not really
People. Yeah.
people
Yeah.
people, you know what I mean? And with as a casualty or a consequence of being a personality on YouTube, it
Mhm.
affords them an audience, but that doesn't necessarily do anything for your social skills. So it wasn't a really pleasant um experience meeting them.
Oh
Um
yeah.
but I was like, you know what? You know,
Yeah.
uh, it is what it is, and I just kept it moving until I met another person that I followed on YouTube, and that was Ike. I finally got a chance to meet Ike, photo meet Ike at WPPI, um
Okay.
2020 WPPI. And so I mean, real cool, just like you see him on the on YouTube is and on Instagram is how he is in person. What you see is what you get. It's real cool.
Exactly.
We got to get lunch together and talk and chop it up and everything like that. It was all gravy. So I was glad that we ran into some more, of those YouTubers because to keep it a buck, like now the YouTube space, people are more popular on this platform than they are a lot of them like in movies. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, when you have celebrities like Cardi B asking a YouTuber to shout out her daughter, like that's huge.
Yeah.
You know how big that is when a
That is.
YouTuber, has this presence and their celebrity is spreading just as fast and faster than some of the Hollywood actors and actresses and musicians. So it was real cool to run into some of them that may be some consider at the top of the game in terms of that sort of content on YouTube to be so personable, so engaging, so cool, so down to earth, and willing to repost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was huge. That was real cool to me because they could have been like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, I didn't
Eh,
even I didn't even believe that they would even see
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. And here you are, you know what I'm saying? So I love it. I love it. It was great to see them and talk to them. I had no idea they was gonna be there at all. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
shout out
saying.
to them. If Irene Rudnick and Nita Sandowski, if you somehow see this YouTube, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all were great, great, great ambassadors for YouTube space and being a content creator that's down to earth
Yeah,
and still connected to your roots and still grounded. Man, shout out to y'all. Y'all made my day today. That was dope. That
yeah,
was real
man,
cool. Shout
yeah,
out to Manny
definitely.
too. Manny's always mad cool.
Oh yeah,
Whenever
yeah,
I see him, I've seen Manny in New York. I've seen him in Vegas. It was great to see him here in the DMV. Shout out to him. I got had a chance to extend my congratulations to him on his beauty dish, which I think I'm gonna buy it now.
You think you'll buy it now?
I think I'm gonna buy it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and support. You know what I'm saying, and get down with what my man is doing and get some of that get one of them beauty dishes just for the culture. You know what I mean? When he got one, I kind of felt like it
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
felt like one of us make it's like was one of us make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know him from a bucket of
yeah,
paint, but
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
follow people on these and you engage with them through these apps and you kind of feel like you feel like you know them even though you don't know them, but you engage with them enough to be familiar with
Hmm.
their face and their work and what they're doing. So shout out to Manny, man. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it'd be
true.
real
I
dope if
agree.
he gives us a coupon code for that. Give us
Yeah,
a
yeah.
coupon code or something for that for
I
that
asked him,
beauty
man.
dish.
I asked him, man, I need half off or something. Shit. And he
Get
talking
half off on
about,
that modified.
yeah, he talking about, man, I can't even get half off. I'm like, oh man, yeah, that's a normal, typical response
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, they definitely were like in a mode where they wasn't really rushing you off or brushing you off. So yeah, that was
yeah,
the vibe. That was the vibe.
yeah. I think that was probably it was that was the blessing in that it was a smaller turnout because of COVID and the storm coming through. So that might have been a huge benefit to us being able to engage with them for that long and just sit there and chill and vibe out with them and get
Yeah,
pictures and stuff like that. That was real cool, man. That was real dope. So
that's
um
true. That's
you
true. I
think you're
agree
gonna
with
get
that.
you a Manny collabo, Anita Sandowski collabo on some of these joints?
Listen, like honestly, that's the gateway
Yeah,
to beginning because now they like kind of know my name,
yeah, yeah.
So in the like in my DM, they was
Mm,
responding back to me. So
nice.
it kind of like opened a window for me to be like, hey man, do you mind like coming on to
Yeah,
my channel? And and and
yo,
honestly, like when they see certain things, that's when they're more likely to come on there. For example, I
right,
already have like Ike on there. I got Prince Mason. I got Flow Shop. So
right,
when they see things like that, it's kind of like,
right,
okay, yeah,
right.
like yeah. Actually, I probably will think
Yeah.
about doing it because you have these people, and if these people are on here, they're on here for a reason.
Exactly, exactly. And shout out to you, man, because you doing the same thing right now, right? By just by proxy, you there's a second time you're on one of my lives.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
I'm
sure, for
just
sure.
getting started in the YouTube journey, and for you to bless the platform to come on up here and share. You sowing that thing, you sowing the thing that you're looking to reap, and it's a beautiful thing. So shout out to you, man, because you're doing the very same thing, man. Extending your audience to my platform and giving
Oh
me
yeah,
some visibility just by being here. I appreciate that. That's real big. So
man, yeah.
I know you'll reap that in return with these people right here because you already doing it.
Oh yeah, man. I definitely appreciate that. And
Yeah,
it's all love at the end of the day, and putting in work because when you look
yeah,
at it, man,
yeah.
like you gotta really think about like how much work they put in. It didn't just come overnight for them. You know what I
And I
mean?
know
Like
like firsthand because you just coming off of the 20 25 days of Vlogmas. You
Vlogmas,
passed
man.
25 days now, ain't you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm
You
past that.
dropping
I
every
know.
day,
I know I didn't put out I'll be putting out videos because it just be like I just got so much content, but
right?
I definitely that's what makes me have like so much more respect for them, just because
Yeah,
I'm literally walking through a path that they already kind of put their footprints in. So
exactly.
they can probably look at me and be like, yo, like I remember when I was doing that, like,
Yeah,
and it's probably kind of like, man, keep going. It's going to get
yeah,
better. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, that's encouraging for me because we've been talking about this for a minute. When I'm gonna get up here, when I'm gonna do this YouTube thing or whatever, and now we're finally here, and in a more not necessarily a super organized way, but real but at least it's real organic and it's around real conversation and real
Yeah.
dialogue about things that happen today. More specifically, here in the DMV, if you're just tuning in with us we're doing a recap of Imaging USA here in the DMV at the Gaylord at the National Harbor. It's here for another few days, couple of days. Um, man, if you're a shooter, if you're a photographer in the area, I would encourage you to come on out. If you're a content creator, if you're a aspiring YouTuber, aspiring content creator, come on out and see what these trade shows have to offer. I will say though, T Man, as one who has now been to a few of them, the great
Uh,
thing about it is being able to network with people. That have different shoot different things, might shoot the same things. And I ran into a guy today that's from my hometown in Dade County. And it was crazy. I was like, wow, small world. You just meet people and you kind of get this community of creatives. And man, it's really dope, man. You meet people from around the globe, you know. Also the instruction and the training and all of that is like top notch, bro. So
yeah.
that's another great added this incentive. Um I follow, so let me give you an example. Like Joe Edelman was one that I followed on YouTube for a minute, and
Okay.
then I ended up seeing him at a trade show. I ended up seeing him in New York, and then I realized that he held private one-on-one sessions at his
Okay.
home in PA. And so I signed up. I said, you know what? I told my wife, I said, you know what? I want to what I love about Joe Edelman is he's a technician. Like he's been
Okay.
shooting for about 50 years. So you got
Mm,
50 years worth of historical knowledge on the game in the game and understanding, photography, the ins and outs, the whys, and
mm-hmm.
he challenges his listeners and followers and everything. So long and short of it, I ended up having a whole day private session with him, man, where he just dropped jewel after jewel after jewel after jewel, and that still lives with me today. But it was because of these trade shows that gave me access and opportunity to engage with the likes of these people. Do you see yourself in the future maybe participating more in the trade shows and engaging with that community?
With the well, actually, right now, definitely, I'm going to go like like so. I was anticipating my first one. I was anticipating was WPPI.
Yeah.
So that was the one I was thinking about going to the first time.
Hmm.
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it happen no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be my first one. I'm in this space, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's funny because I was talking to Ike. I was like, yeah, man, we went to Imaging USA, and like this, everybody was out there. And first
Yeah.
thing he tell me, he like, see, man, see what happened when you be out here in these streets.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
He would
so
know.
yeah, yeah, and I didn't realize uh when we was talking, he said, like his first WPPI was like 2011 or something. So,
Exactly.
he's like boom, boom, boom every
Right.
time.
Right. Right.
But it
And you
definitely. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say you could look at some of the videos from um previous years where he's gone to WPPI and he's vlogged,
Yeah,
he's done some lives and everything. So yeah, yeah, a lot can happen when you're out there in them streets.
it's definitely. It's like it's really like everything is big and surrounded around networking.
Yeah,
And so if you're not networking, it's kind of like, what are you doing now?
right.
2019, and this might be the reason why I haven't really been to any,
Hmm.
because the end of 2019 is when I really started doing photography, or started
Hmm.
doing YouTube, honestly.
Yeah.
And it was when I really started, taking photos of people.
Yeah.
So, coming into 2020 was like when I really started taking YouTube serious. And
Yeah.
so, I wasn't really in that space. Now, 2021 is like when my YouTube started to jump off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so now it kind of makes sense to
Hmm.
everything kind of happen at the right time because it's kind of like, all right, your work where it needs to be at, people noticing
Hmm.
your work. So
Hmm.
now, you need to be networking and putting everything else into place.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess you got a chance to see kind of how your co YouTubers are moving out here in these trade shows and stuff. They're moving around, they shaking hands, kissing babies or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, they you know what I'm saying, they making their presence known, and people are recognizing them, and they're pulling them to the side and they're giving them that time of day. Aside from us, who else did you have any experience today where people recognize you from your YouTube videos?
So I did not have any encounter, but what is interesting? I kind of noticed that some people probably it could have been somebody that did know me. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Uh, but it was interesting that a lot of people don't approach them even if they do, like they just kind of
Right,
like, oh, there goes such and such. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
I
right,
seen
right.
I seen that a lot of times. Like people
Yeah,
walk like, oh, that's Manny, and keep walking. You know what I mean?
right, right.
so I
Right,
thought that was pretty interesting that, it's like, yeah, you watch this person, but you probably won't, go up to
right, right.
them.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
And I kind of felt like that was that was pretty funny.
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it too. Like when we were talking to Manny, who often talks about his social anxiety.
Hmm.
Sometimes just being able to you know not be stressed out about what he's doing, and meeting
Yeah.
people, and he's real chill, real down to earth. So that was a real cool. Some people may fear a similar experience that I had. Maybe you follow somebody on YouTube, you dig them,
Yeah.
you subscribe to them, and then you're when you meet them in person, it kind of jars you a little bit, like, oh, this joker is, you know,
Not really. Yeah. Not really.
not
What?
really nice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then
Yeah.
then you might have some choice words you might want to use to describe them, but so I know sometimes that may be what people will like. You know what they say? Don't meet your heroes. Because
Yeah.
they might turn out to be, not so nice or whatever. So maybe that's, and I noticed that too when we were talking to Anita and Irene. I saw a group of people kind of huddle in
Yeah.
the background, and they were like waiting for their opportunity. And I guess they saw, oh, those some regular guys. They talking to them, they taking
So
pictures. So maybe this is an opportunity for us to meet somebody that we're following. So that was pretty cool. So I could see that happening
yeah.
because you were flagged out. You had your YouTube and Instagram information, even though we got to update the merch. You know what I'm saying? They recognize the T to the M to the
Update. Yeah.
IDD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think the more that you
Exactly.
do,
Exactly. That's the. Uh huh.
go ahead.
No. No. What you was gonna say? The more that
Now,
you up.
I guess the more you go to these trade shows, what's good? K Paulding Photography, what's happening? Thank you for tapping into our live chat today about our day one recap of Imaging USA. But I think the more that you attend these trade shows, man, you with those connections, and people going to make more connections to uh, your face and your brand and what you're doing. Like, yeah, that's T Mid right there.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree with that. Just
Yeah,
because, like YouTube, for me, has been the platform that's growing my Instagram.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
it all comes full circle, honestly.
Right.
Um, so so I definitely could see that every time, it's like, and also I wouldn't say I didn't walk around too much.
Hmm.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to try to see if I can. I want. Yeah, let me see what's the best way to do this. Probably because I'm on my phone, so it
Okay.
kind of sucks that I'm on this phone. But I want to take this
You want to
link
jump
and
into
try.
your desk?
Well, no, I want to take the link and try to put it on Instagram.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha.
But you know what I'm gonna try to do? I know what I'm gonna do. Give me 1 second, because
Yep.
I got my other computer up. Um, I'm going to I'm gonna go live from this computer, and then I'm just gonna put your link in this live.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, let me see, because I know everybody come on the live.
Yeah, everybody come on the line. I
Yeah,
jumped
everybody
on
come
there.
on
It
the
was
live.
looking for a while for people. I was like, you know what? Let me go on YouTube, and see what's going on.
Yeah, let me see. What's this talking? Yeah, I had to throw that in there, but I think this might be some stuff some folks want to hear. So, um, and for some reason, like I got a community page, but the
Hmm.
community page, it does not it does not reach like as many people.
Hmm.
All right, let's see. I think I got your link right here.
Hmm.
Live discussion. All right, I think I should be able to tap in on this. All right, man. This talking imaging USA. Oh yeah, we still waiting for which McCall too.
Yeah, we still waiting for we're still waiting for E Dub. Well.
All right, I think, yeah, that way I can have this going. All right, all right. I'm going live on this bad boy. All right, I am live. All right, we're gonna see.
There we go. So it looked like we got a few people who are actually viewing. If you're here in the chat, talk to us. Where you at? Where you coming from? Introduce yourself. How are you? Where are you logging in from?
Yeah,
We're doing a day one recap. of
Day
Imaging
one,
USA. We logged in to recap our experience today. It's the
day
first,
one,
to my knowledge, the first photography convention in the DMV. Real big, real huge here in the at the National Harbor
hey,
at the Gaylord.
what's
So it
going
was
on,
a really
y'all?
great.
I hope y'all can hear me. Hey, I'm live on another channel. I just we going over Imaging USA. I'm just opening up the link if y'all want to tap into the conversation. The link, I put the link in the chat.
Yeah,
I'm just opening up this live so that it could reach people because I put it on my community tab, but it community tab don't reach as many people. So I know if I go live, it's gonna hit y'all phone. I was watching your old videos today, so if you see some likes from old videos, that's me. I appreciate that, K. Paul. I like all the get all the likes I can get.
What's up, TJ
So
Fox
yeah,
25? What's going on?
okay, they
Thank you for
tapped in. We
tapping
got
in.
them coming through.
Yeah, they coming
Okay,
through. They coming
they
through.
coming through. That's what we're talking about. Join in the conversation. All right,
Yeah.
so
So, so what was some of what were some of the things that you were excited to see once you actually got to Imaging? You finally got parked in the park in the garage, and then you came through, you know what I'm
man,
saying, and came into the building and saw what was going on.
listen. First of all, my first gripe was I had a bone to pick with Manny. I had a bone to pick with Manny, but I forgot to ask him the question. And that bone that I had to pick with him, why didn't that beauty dish hit?
Wow.
And you know what? I guess because you know was talking to Manny right here, and then
Yeah.
Irene and Anita came right here. It just was
Yeah.
so quick. I couldn't get because I wanted to get it on film because that was that could have been a YouTube video.
Right. Right.
Like it
Easy.
could have been like a follow up, easy because
Right. Right.
that was my gripe with it. So I could have came back and been like,
Right.
all right, this is the reason why he said it wasn't
Right.
no grid. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
So
Oh
that
man,
was
that
the
would have been a
thing.
great moment too. Cause I didn't
Yeah,
realize he didn't have a grid.
you went to New York and back. So hey y'all, if y'all could hit the link, if y'all could hit the link in the chat, we talking on another channel. I just got this live open so that y'all can hit the
Oh,
link to the official video,
What's going
and
on? Who joined into the room?
we're gonna talk about
My
the
man EW
Z9,
Images is
Rodney.
in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me
mm,
give you the
What's going
proper
on?
intro.
yeah,
We live on another
Welcome,
channel.
welcome.
Just hit
I'm
that
gonna wear this.
hit
I'm gonna
that
wear
link
this thing out.
in the
I'm
chat,
gonna wear
and
this
y'all
thing
gonna see the
out.
official video.
Yeah, come on through.
come on through.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Hit that link, Stanley, Tony. Hit that link.
What's up,
We
RBJ?
we talking on
What's
that.
going on? Detroit is in the building. What's good? My brother RBJ Photography is in the building.
Okay.
Shout out to you, E Dub, K
Yeah.
Paul
So
D
Yeah,
Photography. Go ahead, T Mid.
that was my thing. But uh, I think yeah. When I came in, this being my first photography trade show,
Uh-huh.
it was it wasn't as many people because
Hmm.
of the circumstances,
Correct.
but it was like I felt like it was just enough. Like it was just enough to still make it feel like it was a trade show.
Right, right,
I feel
right,
like it was just enough.
right. E Dub. So
Okay.
thanks for jumping on here, man.
You know it.
Uh, so tell me, you know, I was telling T Mid, like, how we met. We met on Ike's one of Ike's videos in the chat on his live stream,
Definitely.
and his live stream was DMV deep, right?
Yeah.
It was DMV deep. It was a lot of us from this area on there. I was like, yo, where you at? And E Dub told me where. I was like, man, you right up the street. Let's link. And so I've been dragging E Dub with me all around the country.
Yeah.
We went up to first trip was Photo Plus. What that was 2019 Photo Plus. We linked
Yeah.
up with a few guys, and it was the same kind of vibe. Same kind of vibe. Creators linking, and sharing.
What's
And
going on,
everything.
SJ?
So, what's good, SJ Photography, my brother? Yeah, welcome, welcome. I got you, RBJ. I got a seat at the table. You already know. So, E-Dub, tell me what was one of the highlights for you at imaging today, day one?
I wasn't expecting that many people as far as personalities from YouTube to be there.
Yeah,
So running into people because at first I was, the weather the way it is right now,
yeah, man.
I wasn't expecting,
Yeah,
So, but like you said, it's in our backyard. We got to go out there and support, man.
for
So,
sure. For
but
sure.
yeah,
So
nah, I was shocked. I was shocked on how many people actually came and the vendors and stuff. So it wasn't a big turnout, but it was like T Med said, it was just enough people.
yeah. Um from your experience, from your experience, E Dubs, because now you now OG trade show um guy, right? So and I was sharing with T Mid, we just kind of talking about the benefits of going to these trade shows. Can you talk about a little bit what the benefit to you is and has been going to these trade shows?
You see representation more when you go to the trade shows. Because photography is such a solo thing. I mean, it's most of the time it's just you. It's like you can talk it over with your guys all you want to, but when you in the field, it's just you. So it's good to link up with other people who doing the same thing, trying to create stuff, and like I don't know, you just kind of get a spark when you see somebody else doing something and they grinding. It's like they show you their stuff, and you like, all right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Agnetha wanted to know what brand we shoot. I'm a Canon shooter, Agnetha. If I'm pronouncing, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. I'm a Canon shooter. I'm a R5 shooter. And my man E Dub, I let him tell you what he shoot with.
Nikon Z6. So
So we
yeah.
got two Nikon guys on here. Don't get it twisted. I love
Yeah.
Nikon too. It was a hard, I tell people all the time, it was a hard choice for me. I just had more of a familiarity with Canon as my first Canon, or first Rebel G. It wasn't even a digital camera at that time. So I was a film camera Canon guy. So that's I was familiar with the whole system and color science and all of that. So that's what I work with. And E Dub is, of course, he's a Nikon guy, but shoot or shoot, right? You put it in my hand, I'm gonna make it do what it do. Yeah, so to your point, that was great. Like representation is great. When we went to WPPI, it was great to see this huge community of um African American photographers. They was I mean, we was deep.
Yeah,
That was huge. You know what I
yeah,
mean? In them spaces and seeing, like you said, the representation was huge to see how many people who are really into the art of photography and learning and community and creating. So I loved it. Yeah, so T-Mid, so did you get a sense of did just from your taste today, um do you feel like this will be something that you'll do a little more of trade show appearances?
You know that I absolutely will. Nah, definitely. I'm going to do these trade shows because it's really becoming more. It's kind of sinking in more to me, like this path that I'm kind of building with
Mhm.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Man, like if you see like my Instagrams, like stuff like that, like people are like really reaching out to me, asking me
Yeah.
questions, like it's like legit. So it just kind of puts you in a space where you're like, oh man, like okay, like everything is lining up, and people are really like admiring the work that you are doing. So
Yes.
it puts you in the space to really go out there and let the people see you, because
Right.
when the people see you, it's nice to see them over the computer, right? Like, okay. But when they
Yeah.
see you are who you really are in person, it's like 10 times better. Like I always get the fact that, like in my videos, I'm easy going. Like, I like to have fun. Like that's at the end of the day, that's what I like to do. So
Right.
it it really becomes like a bond almost, because you're gonna have these people that they're watching your content, but at the end of the day they probably like you as a person too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all about building the network and like really being out there so that you can really interact with these people.
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I know for me, being able to go to the trade shows and kind of seeing some of the guys up close and personal and just being able to that representation like he Dub just said, like it's
Click
huge
that link,
because
y'all.
I was
We
able
on
to
the official.
actually talk to somebody that's doing it like yourself, and just pick they man, what made you do this and how do you do this, that, and the third, and then and then y'all just break it all the way down. Look, man, I just did it, and that's the constant thing. You know what I mean? And to hear it from somebody that's tangible and that's visible to say, man, you could do this. This is really easy. It's all about consistency. It's all about not being afraid to put yourself out there. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you got the gear. You don't need a whole bunch of fancy stuff to just go ahead and do it. All I'm doing is, I'm just doing it very often, and people are starting to take notice. Um, it
Listen,
sounds
that's
like to me like your thing started popping like within 2 years. Is that a fair
yeah,
statement?
I would say it took me, I'm going to say 9 months to a year, really. That's what I'm going to say, because I started doing
Mm,
the photography at the end of 2019, but I
Hmm.
wasn't posting videos like that. So when I
Okay.
really started posting videos was 2020, but still I
Okay.
wasn't posting videos enough, because 2020 I posted maybe like 40 videos, if that. Now
Hmm.
2021 is like when it started popping, because
Yeah.
I posted like 80 something videos.
Yeah.
So then, you kind of actually, what was that? Was that 2020 or 20? No, my bad. I'm getting ahead of it. So 2020 is what led it to start popping, because I posted 80 something videos in 2020. So then 2021, I forgot it's
Mhm.
2022 now.
Yeah, yeah.
2021, I set a goal for myself to put out at least 10 videos a month. So I did
Mm-hmm,
that every month, plus more sometimes. And
mm-hmm.
then in December, I put out like 30 something videos. So
Yeah,
it kind of led up from there to have like that many, like you putting out that much content, people starting to
right,
notice. And so that's when
Yeah.
it really started popping.
man. So my man Edub, he's definitely like been one of those inspirations for me too to get up on here on YouTube and give it a shot, man, because he his production quality and his videos and his content, man, is amazing. So y'all here on this live, man, check out my man Edub as well on his YouTube page. He's been on maternity leave, you know what I mean? As a beautiful baby girl, and now he's slowly but surely about to re-enter the YouTube space, producing more content for himself. He's doing production work now for some folks. So I want to give my man E the stage to talk about for a minute what it is that he has going on right now.
Oh yeah, man. Mostly been on maternity leave, like you said, daddy duty. But been working on a podcast with a couple out in Baltimore. Um, so been doing video work for them, and still doing photography on the side. Just trying to get back out there. Wifey tired of me sitting around the house, so I gotta get back out there. And got the mannequin, so we about to get back out there. We about to test some lighting and get back to shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So oh yeah, Agnetha says, congratulations, Edub,
Oh, thank you,
on the
thank you,
new on the
thank you,
new
thank you. You know.
yeah. So man, day one imaging USA. So the common thread today, even as we were getting ready to leave for the day, and we ran into Joe Edelman. He was talking about the size of a usual imaging USA, and today represented, he said, maybe a third of what the attendance usually looks like. But man, aside from that, man, it was a lot of great stuff there. If you are a photographer and you don't have your gear, uh, insurance and license, and you're not, like, you really need to look
Yeah.
into what they provide there and get your stuff insured.
Yeah.
Get connected with these oh I'm having a brain fart, y'all gotta help me remember the
Oh,
name
PPA,
of, say it again.
PPA.
PPA.
Yeah,
PPA.
Get down with PPA, get your stuff insured, get yourself make sure that in the event that anything happens to your gear, you are insured up to the full price of the gear. You know what I mean? So we know somebody, yes, thank you, Rodney, PPA, who were there in full effect. I signed up as you know as this is my first year with them, so I've been looking at them for a while, so I went in there and did it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So he says a PPA link in Atlanta. Yeah, get down with it.
yeah.
Get down with it. Yeah, so RBJ, you already know we ran into B Cole. He was cool. He was cool. He was cool down to earth, my man B Cole.
Yeah,
I don't know who was with him, but his mans was clowning him about being his first love is Cannon, and it's always going. He said it's always gonna be your first love. That was hilarious. But Biko was in the building. He was cool. He was chill. I didn't realize he was that short. But yeah, my man was there. He was in the mix. He was real cool, down to earth. He gave me a drop. for some of the video that I'm putting together. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna drop it on this YouTube. You to feel me? So T Mid, you ain't the only one that was getting that content, broski.
Oh yeah,
I
oh
was
yeah, yeah,
getting it.
yeah. You
I
know,
was getting
I
it.
gotta make that
So
official
yes,
video.
sir. Yes, sir. So
Yeah,
yeah, so um one of the other things that is great when we did WPPI, we were able to do a photo walk, and that was historical for us, to be able to get together, because the other content creators, our counterparts, they set up their big shoots and stuff, and they get together and they go in exotic locations and shoot with models and stuff. But 2020, we were able to, put together a group and go out there and shoot and in the Valley of Fire, and the dry lake bed, and it was an amazing time. T-Man, do you think what do you think you plan to in the future maybe do some photo walks? Because now that you're as a content creator and people are reaching out to you for photography and instructions and whatnot, and ideas and just tips, and now you have more exposure and you're being brought to the forefront. People are, you're more familiar to people loving your work, they're checking your work on Instagram, they following you on YouTube. um do you plan on leveraging now this visibility to your audience and offering maybe like photo walks? What do you think
yeah.
about that?
So it's kind of like two parts to it.
Okay.
Sometimes you kind of think like, all right, like how many? If I throw this out there, am I going to fill these slots?
Right.
Versus kind of like that first time, like, man, should I do it? Should I do it?
Yeah.
But definitely like WPPI, something like that. I feel like easily it could be like, all right, this is going to happen, and we could arrange something.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, absolutely. I
Yeah.
feel like you have to do it because it's like when I'm shooting in my home basement or if I'm shooting outside and I go live, a lot of people like to tune in because simply you feel like you are there with that person.
Right.
And I always try to interact with the chat, even though, I'm doing multiple things, which is, taking photos, trying to pose the model, trying to look out for
Yeah.
little nuances. I'm looking, trying to record the live, but then I'm also trying to make sure I record the official video. And
Yeah.
so, a lot of times, when you just on the live, you might not really think or consider how much I'm actually doing to make this
Exactly.
whole situation happen.
Yeah.
Um, but nevertheless, everybody enjoys when I go live because it's like, all right, you might be doing something like editing, and it's like, all right, oh man, T Mid on. Let me check out what he got going on, and
Right.
and it's always like an inviting place to be.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
think when you bring a space like that, then people always want to kind of be there. And so to transition that type of feeling to it actually happening, like
Yeah.
somebody really, really like admiring your work and admire what you do, and to be able to do that with you, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
like a sentimental value to a person. So I would like, definitely love to do something like that.
Yeah, that'll be dope, man. I think you could fill the slots, man. I think you kind of got the following now, man. For guys that want to um just link up, and then you have an opportunity for them to engage with you
Oh yeah, yeah.
um personally, and then be able to shoot with you. So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I think as a person,
Hmm.
you probably underestimate what you really got going on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So because I really did that at one point until, like some people hit me up and it was like, oh man, like they really like T to the M to the IDD. Like people know that,
Yeah, that's a whole thing. Like you can't get that out of
Yeah.
your
So
head.
yeah. So sometimes I think you kind of like question it, but when you
Uh-huh.
do it, like I might only want to feel 10. I put 20 out there, and it's like, boom, done.
Right.
It's like, oh man,
Right.
okay, like yeah, it's really real.
Yeah. It's really this is going down for
It's
real
really
now.
it's really going down.
Let's take some questions for the chat. So Agnetha says, asks, what are your guys' favorite lens to use? Um, and I'll kick it off. For me, it changes from time to time. It depends. So right now, it is the 51.2 RF lens for the Canon. It is an amazing lens. Edub would tell you yesterday at the photo shoot, I never took that thing off. I bought my 85 1.2. I bought my 70 to 200, which are two of my other favorite lenses to use, but I never got to them the whole shoot. I stayed with that 51.2. So that's my favorite lens to use right now. Edub, what's your favorite lens to use right now?
Right now the 85 1.8.
85 1.8. That's a Nikon. T-Man, what's your favorite lens to use right now?
Yeah, right now I have to go see. I used to be outside a lot, but as I don't. Well, yeah, I used to be outside a lot, but since I'm indoors nowadays, the 70 to 200 almost don't leave
Yeah, yeah,
unless I
yeah.
go live and hook up my camera. Then I put that 35 on there.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. 70 to 200. Now, you got to have some space inside
Yeah,
to sh-
definitely.
to shoot that. Well, at 70 and 85, I know I'm up against the wall,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
like shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it was interesting because I just did like the dimensions. I just did a home studio tour, and like gave dimensions of the space. And somebody was like, "Man, I thought that space was like way smaller than that." but but I was
yeah,
like, like you probably. I mean, I guess you probably don't think about it that much, but I always use the 70 to 200, and I'm like they asked me like what range do I shoot at, and I'm like, like full body I can still be at like 150, you know.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow,
So it's like, yeah, like I can still get a
Nah,
full body shot at 150. So
wow.
then at 200 is when I can get like the tight shots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I had to be back.
you
You
definitely
That,
need
know,
some space though. You definitely need some space.
you yeah,
yeah.
you need some space. I
You definitely need some space.
Yeah. I ain't got those kind of dimensions in here. That's why I gotta go to the bigger studio.
For real. Take Heed says I use 55 to 200 for Fuji.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So let's see what's another in the chat. What's the best advice you or anyone on the platform would give to your younger self starting in photography? T Med, I'll let you take this one first.
Let's see. Man, I'm kind of fresh because, like I said, I started in 2019, and so I was having this conversation with somebody recently. Well, actually, funny story. I think I hopped on somebody's live on Instagram, and they follow my uh it was RBJ was live with somebody. Uh, and so I just hopped on because kind of broadcast when you're on live. So I just hopped on, and so as soon as I hopped on, I'm like, "What's up?" and then there you go. Oh man, T to the M to the IDD in here. so
Yeah,
so I'm looking, I'm like, man, I don't know who this is.
yeah,
You know? So
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
but it was interesting because the topic came up about, how long people been shooting. So, people throwing out like how long they've been shooting. And I'm like, yeah, like it's like 2 years for me.
Hmm.
And then man, like I don't like you ahead of the game 2 years and your stuff looking like that. So if I tell my younger self, which is gonna be 2 years ago,
Hmm.
I would I would probably say like, try to really focus on bringing as much creativity to your images that really make you unique,
Yeah.
that really make you unique. Like you have these certain looks that people want. And so I'm afforded the fact that I don't really do the photography for money. So I don't
Hmm.
have to have like that look that people really want. Um,
Hmm.
but try to keep like a uniqueness about your style.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I would kind of say. And I think above all, it's probably like make sure you having fun. That's my biggest thing. Make
yeah.
sure you having fun because I wouldn't be able to make this content for this long if I wasn't
Right.
having fun doing what I'm doing. Because eventually it's gonna take over. That man,
Right.
why am I doing this? Like
Right.
this ain't jumping off like I needed to
Right.
be. I was in this for the money on YouTube, and it ain't happening quick enough. So let me
Yeah.
just go do something else.
Yeah. Edub, what would you tell a younger self just
um,
starting out?
I would probably tell my younger self, don't watch too many videos and think you actually learn a technique or a skill.
Hmm.
Go out there, shoot more, practice more, be open to more situations,
Hmm.
and yeah, study lighting.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
definitely man, my advice to a younger self will be very similar.
Can I caveat? Oh, not caveat,
Yeah,
but just piggyback off of what E Dub said.
sure.
Like it was a short time for me to kind of get my work to where it's at, and it's really due to the fact that I was making content for YouTube, which means that I was out there shooting a hell of a lot.
Hmm.
And that's the reason why my stuff was able to get like that.
Right.
So, it's fully attributed to me trying to push content out. The reason why my stuff looked like that, because as E Dub said, like I was out there like shooting relentlessly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You were getting your 10,000 hours in for real.
I'm telling you.
To really have some level of mastery with anything, you got to get those 10,000 hours in. My advice would be similar like to these gentlemen. Um I'll share actually what actually Joe Edelman shared with me. He said when I had my session with him, he said, "Look, man, you got it." He said, "What you need to do is get off of these apps and get into your stuff. Get into what you like. And the more you're watching videos, is the more that you're not shooting. So you got to get out there and shoot. You got to practice, and you got to because if you constantly fill yourself with whatever the people think and their style and you're trying to emulate this one and that one, you're not getting into your stuff." He said he pulled up my images and he was like, "Look, you got it." He said, "You got it." He said, you really don't need to be here. You got it. He said, "You just need to get into your stuff and be into what you're doing, And because comparison is a killer to creativity, man. Like it is a killer. So
I'm
I tell
telling you,
a
man.
younger self, you know, uh Little Wayne, one of the things about him that makes him a great rapper is that for a long time he wasn't listening to nobody else. He kind of still like that today. He don't listen to nobody else music, so he's not influenced by anybody else. So he's in his own head creating his
Yeah,
own material. And I think that's that's a great way to right now, if you want to get great at anything that you're doing, like singularly focus on what it is that you bring to the table, what you do well, focus on that, and get your 10,000 hours in, and you're gonna be great. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be just fine. So
that's
that's what I'll
facts.
tell the younger self.
That's
I
facts.
I like you, T Mid. Like I now I shoot for money, but I didn't start.
Start like that.
I should say photography does not pay my bills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm an
yeah.
engineer by trade, so I do this for passion. But I now am able to make an income
Passion.
from it. But that's not the thing that drives me doing. I do it whether I got paid or not, just because I love to shoot.
On that.
So yeah, for sure, that part.
You
So
know that part that you said as far as like being in your own zone. I kind of
yeah,
like we was kind of talking about it earlier. Like, I think that's 100% true. Like to
yeah,
really hone in on yourself and what you like. That's why I was able to find that like I really like doing moody type shoots. Like the way
mm-hmm,
I've been able to learn lighting, like
mm-hmm,
I got it down to a T, and I learned that moody was my thing, and kind of like kind of stand to yourself. I was saying
mm-hmm,
like people might reference certain stuff, and like I really I think I was telling you like I don't really watch
yeah,
big channels like that.
right,
Like that's
right,
just something that I don't do. Like for example, like Be Cold. I don't
yeah,
watch his stuff.
yeah,
And it's not because I don't like them or nothing. It's just that
right,
I just kind of stay like in my zone,
right,
kind of.
right, right,
And I was saying, for the most part, me, I really watch smaller channels, and I'm really
mm-hmm,
like interacting with smaller channels. But that's
yeah,
really how I kind of like stay in tune with myself. I don't really
yeah,
watch too many big channels.
yeah. I
But
mean
of
that's
course, like you gonna know the names
right.
because everybody else talks about I think somebody asked was Jared Poland there,
Yeah.
and I've never seen one of his videos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like never, like you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how like I operate.
Yeah. He could probably walk past you and you wouldn't have known who he was.
Well, I would know because of the fro and because everybody else talk about him, but
Oh,
like I
okay.
don't I don't really know what his like. I think it was a big talk about him talking bad about Nikon. I ain't really
Uh-huh.
know about it because I don't watch his stuff.
You don't really follow his
The
content.
only way
Yeah.
it was brought
Yeah.
everybody else follows.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of how I do. Kind of stay
So
nestled in and zone in and
yeah,
just create what I wanna create.
right. Right. So Agnetha says as
Now I'm going.
what was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that like I just create what I more so you're gonna see me you're gonna see a
Mhm.
comment from me on a smaller channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Like this
going
one right here.
oh
Thanks for
man, can
joining
y'all can hear me? Yeah.
a
Um
smaller channel.
I'm going to be uh, yeah, I'm going to be on like Ike, I'm going to be on his channel because he's
Yeah.
showing love regardless. So
Right.
stuff like that. like uh like Irene and Anita.
Yeah,
I seen their stuff like here and there, but they showed love, reposted my stuff today. So
yeah.
now it's like, oh, that's
Got to
humbling
show
right
love.
there. I gotta
Yeah,
gotta show love.
gotta show love. They
Mhm.
show big love today. They show big love today. Agnetha, I think some of us might have answered this question a little bit, but we'll revisit it. Photography is a great profession. How did you guys get into it? I'll start off. For me, um, when my I'm about to date myself, but my kids, when my kids were really little, they were really young. I grew up and there weren't many pictures like when I got older of me in my childhood. And so when I started having children, I wanted to be able to capture and document those times, in their lives as they were
Hmm.
growing up, so that I could, so that they could have a visual reference of where they were at different stages in their lives. And so I bought my first camera, man. It wasn't even a DSLRs yet. It was a Canon film camera, and I buy a whole bunch of them, them instant joints, and lock them in and take pictures of my kids all day and run back and forth to Lord, I'm about to date myself. The CVS, before it was actually called People's Drugs before it was called CVS, and I would go and get, I would
I ain't
get
never
them
heard of
things
that.
developed. Yeah, see, I'm an OG in the game. I'm a little older than y'all, so I got y'all for by a few years. But I would take and get those things developed and everything. Like every week, I was taking pictures and having the film developed. So that's how I got into photography. And then yeah, so that's how I got into. But I didn't really get into it as a profession per se. I got into it as a passion, and as a way to express myself creatively. Um,
Yeah,
because by trade, I'm a technical guy. I'm an IT guy. So as an engineer, there's that part of me that gets fulfillment through doing technical stuff. But there's a whole nother side of me that needs expression, that's creative. And not that you
yeah,
can't be creative in the technical space, but I'm an artist by nature. I can freehand draw. I used to do back in the '80s. I used to do graffiti, and I used to do graffiti on people's
yeah.
clothes and sell them in high school. So, you know what I mean. So it allowed me for creative expression. So that's why I got into photography. Um, Edub, what got you into photography?
Um, I took a weird path. So yeah, I mean, similar in that did family stuff. But I started with video, doing like family videos, family reunions, and stuff like that, and kind of switched over to the photo side to take also family things. But took like a graphic design course and was working on like compositing and stuff, and I was like, man, to really get a good composite, you got to have like a good image. And I don't know, man, it just kind of took a life of its own. And like he said, documenting stuff, just kept picking up the camera and kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah. Yeah. T Mid.
Mm,
I know it wasn't
man,
YouTube that drove you to that took you to the camera, did it?
listen, man. I was just about to say. I was just about to say, man. It in a sense, it really is because um, what had happened for me was, and this isn't what I'm gonna say isn't knocking anybody that's doing anything. It's strictly about living out your dreams for me.
Yeah.
So for me personally, one of my dreams was to become a NASA engineer, and
Hmm.
so I was able to do that like really quickly. I wanted to put something into space that I did like the research research and development for able to. So what dawned on me next was the fact that I completed what I wanted to do. So,
Nice.
I would go into the office and I would kind of see like myself as like, man, I don't want to be here for the next 30 years. Just
Mm-hmm.
kind of still, like it might be new projects, new adventures, but at the end of the day, still kind of doing the same thing. And just
Mm-hmm.
look back and say, yeah, like, yeah, NASA engineer, that's great, but like 30 years has gone by, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what I did with my life.
Yeah.
So it kind of sparked something into me that said, open up another pathway for yourself with limits that you do not know about. And
Right.
so that's what kind of sparked me to hit YouTube as hard as it can, because the pathway that YouTube can open and the doors it can open, you don't really know. You can ultimately probably live a life that's kind of nomadic in the sense where I don't have to go to the office every day.
Yeah.
I could be at home like this and editing a video and really be loving what I'm doing without being
Yeah.
under the watch of somebody else that's my boss. And I'm just really like a free creator and being
Yeah.
able to live my life that
Yeah.
way and do what I want.
Yeah.
So photography for me is like YouTube really drove it for me to take it like super serious,
Yeah.
just because of the doors that it can open up. Like, on my channel, I like to
Yeah.
do vlogs. Like that's really what I love to do. I really love to do vlogs.
Yeah.
My base is really photography, so I have to work in the photography with the vlogs.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you get this train going,
Mm-hmm.
you could take this train all around the world and say,
Yeah.
all right, I did the NASA thing. I'm great. I achieved that goal. All right, this is my next life goal. It's
Mm-hmm.
always about saying, for me, like I could at least say, man, I tried the YouTube thing. I made it.
Yeah.
Whether it perseveres or it doesn't, it's like I at least tried. It's kind of like looking at somebody that has those dreams of going to the NBA or
Yeah.
going to the NFL. If you don't
Right.
like stick out with it, then you never know what the end of the tunnel is going to be. So,
Right.
now I'm in a space where the first year YouTube was hard. You kind of get doubtful, but as you start
Mm-hmm.
talking to these other people and seeing like the road is going to be
Mm-hmm.
rough,
Yeah.
and I look at like my progress now, it really makes it more of a reality that it really could happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what drove my photography is, the next step of my life to, live freely a creative world really.
Nice. I never knew that. Is this the first time you're sharing that, or did I miss that video?
Nah, yeah, like no, no,
You heard it here.
nobody really know. Yeah, nobody really know. It's
So that's where the NASA boy come from.
Yeah,
The NASA boy.
that's why my name was NASA boy, because
Wow.
NASA engineer.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. You heard it here, folks. And here I was forcing you to change that name for about how many? About almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
I be in T-Miz, I be in T-Miz DM like this don't make no sense. This is
Yeah,
confusion. How was I supposed to know that
no, that
T-Mid and NASA boy was the same thing? You
same.
confusing me, bro. I'm trying to support. I don't know where to send people. I don't know whether to send them to NASA. Oh, so that's beautiful, man. That's dope. I never knew. I never knew that you are actually a NASA engineer. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
man.
that. Here's something real cool to that point, because I we all speak the same language. Uh 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 Edub and I also, we're in the IT field. So right,
Okay.
so we're engineers as well. So um the crazy thing is the gentleman on Shark Tank, he was talking about, and I think somebody else referenced this in their video. But he was questioning. I saw it on a reel, but he was saying somebody asked him a question. And the question was, if you were going to hire for any particular position right now that's urgent in your business, what would it be? Uh, what would that position be? What would that job be that you will be looking to fill? And
Hmm.
he said, you know what? It's interesting because if you'd have asked me maybe 2 years ago, I would have said engineering, right? And this is a
Yeah.
multi-millionaire. He's a serial business man, Lord. Like he had business. He's a multi-millionaire serial business creator. And he said, 2 years ago, I'd have told you engineering. He said, but now I'm willing to pay 150 grand to somebody that can make these videos and these reels. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
And so, what we, in a very real way, what we're experiencing is a disruption. And I think what spoke to you to make that transition into the creative space is that there was something inside of you anticipating this switch, this disruption, where now most of the machines, if you anybody logged in that are in the IT field, we have moved into AI technology, where the machinery, the
Yeah.
technology is almost there's almost no need for human intervention, right? So now,
Yeah. Yeah.
once these computers and once this technology is able to do all of the things that we needed men to do or women to do, um, now those them jobs are no longer going to need human bodies. So what is
Yeah,
the next step? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
In
That's
terms
true.
of what are you going to do to support yourself when your field is disrupted. That's right, Leon. Machine learning, and like it is incredible what these things can do now. So
yeah,
now
That's
it was a forecast for me for this gentleman to say, you know what? I would have said engineers a few years ago, but now I'm looking for creatives. I'm looking for somebody that can that can create a video that goes viral, that brings visibility to my product. You know what I'm saying? So
that's absolutely absolutely true. And I think, that definitely drives it. And I I think a lot about myself. So ultimately, like my bigger picture is kind of like, not to not to be full of myself or anything like that.
yeah,
But like I really look at it like I want to leave a mark on the world where people know who T Mid is. Like who T
yeah,
Mid is and who T Mid was when I leave here. Like you know that name. That's how I think
right,
about myself. So
right.
I know that I need to escalate to bigger platforms and bigger things to
Hmm.
to make sure that people know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. That's dope. That's dope. Let's see. What else we got in here? So, man, we almost at we had an hour and a half. I ain't gonna hold this day for too long. My man RBJ and been on the road. I think he was listening. He was like, "Let me in." But we just chopping it up. What started this conversation was a recap. The three of us met at Imaging USA here in the DMV, and we had the opportunity to walk the expo floor and to experience the trade show. This is my first imaging. I usually frequent Photo Plus or with WPPI, and this is a big conference that found itself here in the DMV area, the Maryland, DC, and Virginia area. So we were super excited to be there. We linked up. We braved the weather. and we
Yeah.
came on out to experience what imaging had to offer, even though it was a smaller show because some of the vendors had to pull out and the weather and everything. It still was an amazing time. So if you are in the DMV, if you are a content creator, photographer, shooter, and you have the bandwidth, the next couple of days, the Imaging USA is going on at the National Harbor here in the DMV. So come on down, come and be a part of it. And if a trade, if you've never been to a trade show, I want to encourage you as a photographer, content creator, or whatever term you choose to call yourself. I would encourage you to check out those trade shows. It is extremely beneficial to your growth as a creator. You get to rub shoulders and get to understand, get to know different content creators. You get to iron sharpens iron, man. So I would encourage you to get out there and join some of these. Come on and be a part of some of these conferences and see what they have to offer. Infinite One Production says parents need to understand times have changed and to stop forcing kids into the traditional fields. Influencer, educator, editor, filmmaker, photographers are real professions. I absolutely agree. I absolutely
One
agree.
thousand percent. You
One
know, you
thousand
said
percent.
um like we was talking about the AI and all
Yeah.
those things. I kind of touched on it. So like I've written a few AI algorithms
Hmm.
for different things, and so it kind of transitions to us in the mirrorless world where you
Yeah.
start getting the eye autofocus.
Yeah.
Like that is AI at its
Yeah.
finest with a lot of data and deep learning
Yeah.
powered by that. So,
Yeah.
at the trade show, it was nice to have that Z9 in the hand and that R3, man.
Come on now, that thing. Woo. Which felt
Yeah,
better? Now, which felt better? And be honest. Wait. Hold on, everybody. We got an exclusive here. We got them in the hot seat. Now,
listen, I
which
cannot
one?
I cannot lie. Like well, Z9 is going to be awesome to me because I kind of already know the button layout, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the form factor was like, like you have like they had the D5 for the
Hmm.
DSLR,
Yeah,
the Z9 for the mirrorless is like
yeah,
the form factor is just like a little bit more compact.
yeah,
So it's like it's like bread and butter. Like when you got that D5, like that handle is right there
yeah,
when you wanna shoot that in portrait mode. But that
yeah,
Z9 is it still has a nice sleek design to it where it's like
yeah.
it's beefy, but
Hmm.
it's like they try to trim a few pounds off of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
But
yeah,
like I was saying, the R3, like I got some good footage on that too.
yeah.
Listen,
That thing.
if y'all haven't got to experience it yet, listen.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
R3 feels excellent in the hands
yes,
as well, and like
yes.
that shutter. Oh my
Mm,
goodness! Listen,
mm,
it's
criminal.
you cannot hear it. It's like on the Z9, I was trying to take a couple frames and I was like, why isn't it shooting? And it was shooting, but you just cannot hear
You can't hear
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
it. Man.
Yeah.
And the eye autofocus, I did a few runs just picking up people kind of walking past.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
what's y'all take on it?
Go ahead,
Um,
Daikon.
I I didn't pick up the R3. But my thoughts on the Z9, I thought it was awesome, man. It felt good in the hands. If you're a Nikon shooter, like he said, I haven't had the D6, but the button layout wasn't that different. So yeah, it just felt natural when I picked it up. They got I mean, it's the flagship camera. They got a lot of bells and whistles to it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, like he said, it's beefy, but it felt light. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, it was kind of weird. It was a weird
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah. It's like,
And I think it was the 2470 lens that was on there. So like,
sure was.
it didn't feel
yeah.
like nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did have a chance to hold that R3, and man, that thing felt like it felt like
Wanted to
it
open
felt
your
like a
wallet.
1DX. Yeah, that I did. That I felt my wallet leaving my pocket. It I was like, yo, this thing, and then it had that 70 to 200 on it. I was
Yeah,
like,
oh man,
oh,
yeah.
oh,
My favorite lens.
I already got the Holy Trinity glass for it. Like
Yeah.
this will complete the cipher if I got this joint, but I have no justification for that thing.
That's what I tell people.
Hey man,
I be like, oh, why you
2022.
ain't getting
We don't need justification. We don't
Will be
need it.
hey, hey, T Bed,
Well, we don't need justification in 2022.
let me give you a little heads up for some of us that's
Hey, I'm
married in
single.
here.
I'm single over here. I can't
Yeah.
speak for y'all.
let, let me hey, I know you done seen this.
My
I know you
bad.
done
My
seen
bad.
these reels. I know you done seen these reels. You seen a reel where it said, they gave it to me. They gave it to me. They
Yeah.
didn't give it to you. They gave it to me.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
They talking in Spanish like.
They
Is that how much
Yeah.
you pay?
gave it to me.
Maybe like $30.
They were like, they did not give you that camera, you
Yeah.
know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but but to your point, yeah, it's true. It's true. If you got it, you know what I mean. Go ahead and get it. You know, that's how I felt about the R5 when it came out. I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting that.
Yeah.
That's
That
everything
was
the R was supposed to be. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I need that in my life right there. I'm
That's the
getting it.
same for the Z7 too with me. But also, I kind of was touching on this. I think I was gonna have a talk about this. Actually,
Yeah.
me and Ike talked about it when I had him on my channel.
Oh, okay.
Was the fact that like for me, YouTube is going to drive a lot of my purchases in order
Right.
for me to kind of like stay relevant or get like some buzz popping because
Yeah.
everybody got the Z9 right now. So if you got that, like people are going to see your stuff, you know. So
Right.
uh, that's the kind of like the catch 22 with YouTube. It's like, yeah, I could keep using the Z7 too, but that
Mhm.
Z9 is going to get you that visibility. Or if I had that R3, that's going to
Right.
bring people to your channel because
Oh yeah.
we
Wait,
gotta we
okay.
gotta.
I just heard a justification. Let me call my wife down here. Baby, I'm getting this R3 because it's getting ready to boost my YouTube. Oh
Yeah.
man, thank you. See, the brother is already helping.
Yeah.
There go my justification right there, baby. If you want to see my
Oh
YouTube
man.
numbers go up, you need to be okay with this purchase. All right. Photo me Ike is in the spot. Look,
Yeah.
look. You done talked him up. He said I sent someone talking
I
about
know,
the
right?
Z9. What
Yeah,
up,
man.
Ike? The OG Photo Me Ike is in the building. He's in the chat. Everybody, check him out on
Hey,
YouTube and on Instagram. Yeah, we ran into a couple of people here at the yeah, DMV Mafia in the building. We represented Lovely here in the DMV at the Imaging USA day one. This is our recap. We ran into Manny Ortiz. We ran into Irene and Anita, your good friends. They were in the building. We got a chance to chop it up with them real good. And your buddy B Cole was in the building too. Oh yeah, we was outside. It was snowing, but we was outside
yeah.
for real. So Yeah, so
in
this is
these
our
streets.
day one recap of Imaging USA. Yeah, Anita, good peoples, man. They were swell. You know, they didn't shortchange us on conversation. They didn't try to rush off. They weren't, disengaged. They were real
Yeah.
solid. They gave my man T Mid a repost and everything. So they official tissue around here. They
Yeah,
definitely did it for the
official
culture.
like a referee with a whistle. I'm telling you. Yeah, they was really like locked in. Like they was like,
Yeah,
yeah, we, it
yeah,
was other people,
yeah,
like you said, kind of like stepping to back, but they were still
yeah,
like, boom, keeping that convo, kind of going. So
yeah,
that was respect. Even Manny, because I've heard certain things about him, but like when you was talking to him, and I
yeah,
just kind of like pulled up. He like, nah, man,
yeah,
like I'm chilling, like
yeah. Yeah, he ain't had nothing to do because I think most of the time when we run into Manny, like at the convention, he running here, there, and everywhere. Like when
Oh
we
yeah,
in New
he
York,
like, man, I'm trying to shoot this video over here, and I'm gonna
yeah,
go do
yeah,
this, and then
yeah,
what y'all doing later?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. So Manny was real cool. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
man. So we had a blast. So this was day one. Imaging USA. Again, if you're in the DMV area, tomorrow and Tuesday. I think it ends on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Come on through, and check us out. We'll be in the building,
Yeah.
and see what's happening. On the if you don't know, the expo floor is free. There's a coupon code available on the Imaging USA's website, and you can put that coupon code in, and it'll bring the balance to zero for the expo, and you can come in and enjoy the entire floor. And because of COVID and whatnot, and they do take COVID precautions, and it is not that many people there, so you can kind of spread out and experience the entire expo floor. So but that's it. This is our time. We we almost at 2 hours again. Thank you, gentlemen, for jumping on this live to give our recap of day one of Imaging USA.
Yeah.
Uh, my man E Dub, I know you getting ready to head out there and get you another cigarette, but talk to the people. Talk to the people. Let them know what you got going on. Give
Oh
them your
man,
Instagram.
you can catch me on Instagram at EW Images, YouTube EW Images, coming
Yeah.
back on. Um, sorry
Coming
I've been
back
gone so
strong.
long. Sorry I've been gone so long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pull,
He's
pull the
back.
Yeah,
Drake,
what
man.
what has it
Pull the
what has it
Drake.
been? Has it been like a year now?
It feel like a year.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. It's been a little
Been a
bit.
while.
But in the mean, there were still videos that were shot. They just were never published. I will say that.
Yeah. So my man E Dub is coming back. So y'all, if you're not following him, go give him a subscribe and check out the content and look forward to new content from him. T Med, my
Yeah.
brother, thank you for coming on here, man, and jumping on here with me. Uh,
Yes,
I said
man.
he had a baby and disappeared. Hey, he ain't no OG to you like you, man. He learning. This is his first one, so we gonna give him a pass. T Med, talk to the people. Tell them what you got going on.
Man, well, first of all, I appreciate, everybody following my YouTube, jumping over to this link and supporting this talk.
Yeah,
Because we had it popping in here for a minute. Well, I think
for
we got up to
sure,
like
for
20
sure.
people. So I appreciate everybody, coming through from my channel and watching and kicking back as we go through this image in USA. But, you know, I have y'all know I have content for days that we got going on, and let me show y'all what I'm working on right now. I was gonna put this out tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to make it. But we gonna see. Let's see if we can get the situation going. this bad boy right here.
Hey, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it
That's a real
is.
good one.
that's what I got going on right now. But y'all know the content gonna keep coming. I appreciate y'all supporting.
Yeah. Appreciate you, both of you gentlemen. Lamont Warren Photography, thank you guys for joining and jumping on. If you're coming over from TMED's platform, my name is Lamont Warren. You'll see more of me here in 2020 doing more photography.
2022.
2022. Thank you for helping me fix that. We getting that right. So if you're still here, please get this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Check out your boy. I'm gonna be doing more things in 2022. Thanks for the pressure, photo me Ike. Thanks for the pressure, T Mid. Thanks for the pressure, EW Images. We out here, man. Thank you
Yeah.
guys once again. This is our recap for Imaging USA 2022 here in the DMV. You know what it is.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
And like that, we out of here. Thanks, Ike. I appreciate you, brother. Peace out, RBJ, SJ, Infinite One Productions, Tony Captures. Appreciate you jumping in, checking me out. If you hit that thumbs up, give me a follow, subscribe. We're gonna do some more stuff just like this and more. Appreciate y'all. T to the M to the IDD was in the building. Thank you. Agnetha, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for joining the live stream. Appreciate your following, your support. Hey, and just like that, we out of here. Hey, 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 hey. That's it from the DMV, the DMV Mafia. I appreciate that. I sure hope so, brother. Till then, y'all have a good week. Be blessed, be prosperous. Above all, keep creating. Till then, Lamont Warren Photography. We out of here. Yeah.